What's going on, everyone? It's Amber with the Loss Prevention News Network. We are joined by some very special guests. Blue Montez with American Apparel. What's going on?
It's going.
It's going, indeed. Kris Doane, Director of Product Management for CONTROLTEK. What's up, buddy?
Some things are up.
Some things are up. In fact, our audience count by my hashtag screen has just jumped through the roof because we finally got Blue Montez on.
Hold on. It just jumped one more up.
Oh, yes. We're counting our followers, and it's going through the roof. This burning hashtag screen is just insane. Let's get to the point, though, shall we? Blue, not only do you have the coolest name ever, and Kris knows you've actually been, in your career, an early adopter of RFID, which makes you essentially a visionary. Talk about that.
Well, RFID is one of those tools that has been progressing over the years. And at American Apparel, we've done a very good job, not just on the operations side, but on the LP side as well. If you don't have RFID in your environment today, and inventory is an important piece of your aspect, then you need to get RFID soon.
That's wise words, because we've actually, the calibration group just released a white paper that talks about how the stock on hand issues and inventory distortion as a whole is 7 times greater than ORC worldwide, which is kind of a big deal, right?
I agree. Not only that, but traditional retail is inventorying on a 6-month or an annual basis. With RFID, you could inventory on a weekly or even 5-day basis.
Yeah. So, Kris, talk about CONTROLTEK's product offering that really makes inventory super easy and visible to every potential aspect.
Absolutely. So actually learning about RFID at American Apparel and learning a lot of things from Blue himself.
Yeah, you guys know each other, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's where it started. So actually half of my stories that I tell about the use of RFID and LP are actually Blue quotes. So, thanks for that, Blue. But yeah, we recently put out a product called Control Span. And it's, all those years of experience utilizing RFID and just getting it down so it's as easy as humanly possible and really get to the heart of inventory visibility and through that, dealing with shrink and other forms of loss. So,
Blue, from a retail perspective, I know, Kris, you have a retail perspective too. I mean, if you're just focused on some of the fundamentals of LP, I mean, is the LP executive kind of missing the boat?
Yeah, I don't know if the LP executive is missing a boat, but I would say this. If you're deeply embedded in shrink, if you use analytics for internal investigations, then RFID is definitely one of those tools that you really need to dabble in. With American Apparel today, we don't use the traditional exception reportings as other retailers do. We have RFID, so it tells us exactly what's missing in our stores on any given day. We do an analysis on our exception reporting that includes refunds and POS transactions that also tie into RFID, so it's a very useful tool in that aspect.
So, Kris, talk a little bit about more of the features of Control Span and its new release. I mean, you guys are dealing with the ease of using iPhone and other Apple devices.
So actually, one of our partners was just on NeedApp. And
NeedApp Retail.
Yeah, NeedApp Retail. And we use their ID Hand product. Actually, Wouter was holding it a few minutes ago. And that connects through Bluetooth. Not to be confused with Blue's teeth, but Bluetooth with an iOS device, iPhone, iPod, iPad. Or iPod Touch, excuse me, and then that gives an interface that the in-store employee is something they're already used to. It's the device that they pick up every day and they're using with social media and they're surfing the web. It's not some archaic interface that they just don't understand.
Yeah.
And then we use that to make it so that they can do their job as quickly and efficiently as possible.
And I've actually seen that work at NRF Protect last year, and it's almost like inventory magic.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. I actually took your stance and said, does this really work? From a retail perspective, right?
And it does.
So I've got a trivia question for you, Blue. In the movie Old School, what was the terms of endearment that was for the character named after you?
You're my boy, Blue.
Ding, 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 ding. That's true. So we actually have a gift for you.
Oh, boy.
Coming straight out of the audience here. Open that up for us, Blue.
All right.
This is totally random prize.
Amazing.
Can you believe that? Right here at the D&D.
And the only one thing, it's not American Apparel.
Well, look, we had to go a little offshore, a little way offshore to get that made. But look, hey, you're my boy, Blue. And I think Kris clearly agrees.
Clearly.
It's a love fest here in the D&D. And we're going to send it right back to you, Gus.